What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus check update, the stimulus package update, daily news, what's going on here in our country and in Washington, D.C., money, investing, the stock market, pretty much everything going on here in our country on a daily basis. And they're trying to wrap up this next stimulus package, this next infrastructure package. President Biden has confirmed there will be another stimulus package after this. They have just introduced two bills in Congress for raising Social Security just in the last few days. I just did a video on that. I'll link you to that video at the end of this video if you haven't seen that. Two really big bills introduced in Congress just in the last few days to significantly raise benefits on Social Security. That will probably be coming in the next stimulus package after this. As they go to close this stimulus package, President Biden has confirmed there will be another stimulus package after this, as the Democrats still have another stimulus package after this and a full 12 months left to control the House and the Senate before they go into the next midterm election. And they're going to probably want to try to do a lot of big things. The Republicans think they're going to take over the House and the Senate, or at least one of them. Democrats think that they're going to retain the House and the Senate. And both sides are going to, or at least the Democrats are going to want to try to do as much as possible while they still control the House and Senate to try to retain the House and Senate, and Republicans think they're going to try to take it back. So there is going to probably be a lot of movements here with this stimulus package and the next stimulus package after that. So first, let's go to Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren on this stimulus package, how they're going to pay for this stimulus package. And then we're going to go to a big addition that they're adding into, or some details on what they're adding into the stimulus package. Remember, they're kind of in the final stages of the stimulus package, and they're trying to add in several different things into the stimulus package here in the final hours. So if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe down below. New videos come out here on our channel every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And don't forget to hit the like button for us down below. All right, first up, Senator Elizabeth Warren on a lot of big things with the stimulus package and how they're going to pay for it.
Tax strategies for which you were often criticized by Democratic opponents in the 2020 presidential campaign suddenly gained resonance this week. What changed?
Well, I think part of it is Washington is catching up with where the American people are. And that for a long time, what I've been talking about is very popular across the country. And let me point out, it's actually both halves. I talked about the wealth tax on individuals, the bazillionaires, and a minimum corporate tax based on book profits for the billionaire corporations. You know, the Amazons of the world that report $10 billion in profits and turn around and pay nothing in taxes. So I've been pushing both of these ideas. Looks like for sure one is going to make it into this package. The second one may not make it into this package this time. But you know how I look at this? The American people get it. They understand that the tax system is rigged and they are sick of it. And they are finally pushing Washington to do something. So I'm still fighting to try to get both of them in. But even if we don't, this idea of taxing billionaires on their wealth, it's not going away.
I thought of you when I saw a tweet from Elon Musk. I'll put it up on the screen. He said, quote, eventually they run out of other people's money and then they come for you. And I was thinking of that sort of iconic, I think it was 2011 campaign moment. It's Liz Warren getting ready to run for the Senate. You're at a coffee klatch and you say, you didn't build that. What would be your response to Elon Musk?
You know, come on. Right now, just let's be clear where we stand on taxes. The 99% in America last year paid about 7.2% of their total wealth in taxes. That top 0.1% where Elon Musk lives, they paid about 3.2%. That's less than half as much. If Elon Musk were paying at the same rate as the rest of Americans on their wealth, then Elon Musk and his kind could be funding a huge part of what we need in America. Universal child care, universal pre-K, home and community-based care, expanded health care, investments in housing, and a big thwack in fighting back against climate change. The folks at the top, they've been freeloading for long enough.
Now, speaking about Elon Musk, who she's talking about, the world's richest man, he's worth now about $250 billion. And Jeff Bezos, the founder of Elon Musk is the founder of Tesla, the founder of SpaceX, the previous founder of PayPal, as well as Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, is worth about $200 billion. Between the two of them, they're worth about $400 to $450 billion. They say that is worth about 30 to 40% of the entire population of America, the lower population, 30 to 40% of the entire population of the United States. Just those two people. And get this, Elon Musk now owns more money than every major sports team in the United States. Him alone. Yeah, and his wealth increased by so much that he could buy every major sports team in the United States. Major League Baseball, the National Basketball Association, NFL, and NHL. He could buy every single team outright. Can you even imagine that? So, I mean, these teams are worth billions of dollars. I mean, each one of them. That's absolutely insane. Now, here's what's kind of even crazier. So think about that he could buy all those teams. Here's what's kind of even crazier. There was a story that came out a few days ago that if the U.S. government went out and confiscated all the money from all the billionaires, this was just kind of this would probably never happen. I mean, can you imagine the U.S. government just going out and confiscating everybody's money? I know some people say, oh, they should just go out and confiscate the billionaires' money, but imagine if they want to just confiscate your money, right? It always sounds funny when they're like, oh yeah, confiscate their money. But if you think about confiscating your money, it's like, oh, wait a minute. But it was this kind of a story that said, well, what if the government went out and confiscated all the billionaires in the United States' money? What if they did that? Just a theoretical theory. Well, how much money do you think that would be? Well, here it is. Well, if they went out and confiscated all the U.S. billionaires' wealth, it would only fund the U.S. government for about 6 months, maybe a little bit more. That's how much money the U.S. government spends. So even if they took all their money, every single penny, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and every other billionaire out there, there's hundreds of them, they took every single penny they owned, every dollar, every last drop, and made them worth nothing. It would only fund the U.S. government for 6 months, and then thered be nothing left. They did 100% tax on them and took every penny they have. That's how much money the U.S. government spends. So just put that into consideration for just a second to give you just an idea of how much money the government spends. Because one of the things is they're kicking around a billionaire's tax where they want to tax the billionaires on unrealized investment gains, right? So they want to tax their investment gains on their stock gains, on what they've gained, but they haven't sold yet. And they're probably not going to be able to get that through because it's just too complicated. And the way it's supposed to be is when you sell it, when there's a transaction, that's when you pay the gain. The problem with these billionaires is they don't sell it because they don't need the money. So it goes years without selling, and stocks go up and down. But the theory was, what if the government just took all their money? It would literally only last the government 6 months. If they just took every billionaire's dollar, everything, it would all be gone in 6 months. So that's how much money our U.S. government spends. So the billionaire's tax, it sounds nice in theory, and I'm actually for it because I think that they do need to pay some tax, because Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk actually pay like nothing. They actually pay less than a school teacher in some cases because they don't take a salary and they don't pay anything because they just don't sell any stock because they don't need the money. But on the other hand, the government is just the amount of money that they spend in all fairness, our country has 330 million people. So there's a lot of mouths to feed. There's a lot of infrastructure to feed. There's a lot of everything to feed, right? It's just a massive, massive organization. But that's how much money they spent. It's insane.
Well, let's relive the moment to which I referred, a couple of seconds of it, and then I'll ask a follow-up question. Roll it.
Sure.
There is nobody in this country who got rich on his own. Nobody. You built a factory out there, good for you, but I want to be clear. You moved your goods to market on the roads the rest of us paid for. Yep. You hired workers, the rest of us paid to educate. You were safe in your factory because of police forces and fire forces that the rest of us paid for. You didn't have to worry that marauding bands would come and seize everything at your factory and hire someone to protect against this because of the work the rest of us did.
By the way, I've always wanted to ask, you look like you're winging it. Are you extemporaneous there?
Totally. I wasn't even a candidate for Senate quite yet. And it was just the question came in and I told him how I felt about it. And it's how I still feel about it, Michael. I mean, Elon Musk, you made $1 bazillion. Good for you. But do keep in mind, the rest of us invested in all the things that were necessary to have a foundation so that you could do that. And no one wants to take it all away.
Let me go back to his point. Here's the fundamental question. Is there any limiting principle in your philosophy? Is there any moral or constitutional constraint against the government taking all private property? Because that's what he's saying. He's saying first they're coming for me and then they're coming for you.
Look, what he is saying is it's okay to tax everybody else, just don't tax me. We've been taxing Americans for more than 100 years, and we've said everybody puts in a portion. I believe taxation ought to be progressive, meaning those at the top ought to be paying not just more in dollars, but actually a little larger share of what they've got. They should be pitching it in so the next generation gets a chance, and the next generation after that, and the next generation after that.
What are your thoughts? Do you think the people that make more money should be paying a little bit more? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. It seems like the billionaires are paying next to nothing. In some cases, nothing or very, very little. So they're trying to reverse that with this next package, and that's what they're trying to do, raise taxes on corporations. One of the things in there is paying for this package is corporations that make over $1 billion. They're going to put in a new minimum tax of that these corporations that make over $1 billion are going to have to pay a 15% minimum corporate tax. So no matter how many write-offs they have, if their tax rate goes below 15%, they're going to have to pay a 15% minimum corporate tax rate. So that is going to kind of change the game here if that makes it to the final legislation. So I will keep you up to date on that. Okay, another big thing that is looking like it is likely going to be added into or is making significant progress is the prescription drug pricing compromise. It's looking more and more likely that prescription drug pricing negotiation or lowering the cost of prescription drugs is going to be added back into this stimulus package. This is a very big item for millions and millions of Americans. You can see here, Democrats are zeroing in on a deal to lower prescription drug pricing that the party hopes it could add to President Biden's $1.75 trillion social spending bill as soon as Monday, according to sources familiar with the efforts. The conversation involved a group of Senate Democrats, including Senator Kyrsten Sinema from Arizona, House leadership, and rank-and-file Democrats, as well as the White House. Prescription drug reform was left out of last week's draft proposal due to ongoing disagreements between moderates like Sinema and House Democrats like Energy and Commerce Chair Frank Pallone, Democrat from New Jersey, who is hoping for a more expansive effort to lower prescription drug prices. Yet after that omission, Democrats have redoubled their efforts. Leaving out prescription drug reform from Biden's climate and social spending bill would be a massive loss for Democrats. And about 66% of adults who take prescription drugs, this would be a savings for them on a month-to-month basis. So this would be a stimulus provision that would literally save over 150 million Americans money every single month, who have campaigned on lowering prescription drug pricing for years. Quote, much progress was made on a compromise agreement on prescription drugs that would involve some amount of negotiation between Medicare and the drug companies, said a source familiar with the talks. There's optimism that something can be added before the House votes on Biden's package early this week. The House is expected to vote tomorrow. But honestly, this could delay it a little bit, but this would be a good delay if they have to add this in there because, well, this would save many, many Americans money on a month-to-month basis paying for these prescription drugs. Multiple different senators, as you can see here, are discussing the matter late Thursday and through talks continued through the weekend, according to several sources directly with knowledge of the conversation. Senator Kyrsten Sinema spoke to Speaker Nancy Pelosi this weekend about the issue, and the White House is also involved. The latest draft effort includes a redesign of Medicare Part D, drug negotiations, and rebates, said a source with direct knowledge of the effort. It's not as expansive as the House landmark bill H.R. 3, but is based on the same parameters. No deal was final as of Sunday morning, but there was some hope in the party of clinching one within the next 24 to 48 hours. In a CNN interview on Sunday, Sanders said he spent all day Saturday working on the issue. As soon as I leave the studio, I'm going back home on the phone to make sure that we have it. Senator Bernie Sanders has really been fighting here for a deal for Americans on this. This is one of the biggest stimulus provisions in this. It will save people money on a month-to-month basis. It's not really a stimulus check per se, but it is something that will save people money if you pay for prescription drugs. This is something that could save people money every single month. Biden previously cut a more limited deal with Kyrsten Sinema and Representative Scott Peters, a Democrat from California, that House Democrats have resisted, hoping to make the policy more expansive and apply to more prescriptions. House Democrats insist that Pallone never walked away from negotiations, even after Sinema and Peters cut a deal with Biden that fell short of his goals. Yet insisting that nothing in it, what's likely to be one of the most opportunity to become law, is not enticing for most Democrats. Furthermore, cutting a deal would bring in new revenues for the legislation, perhaps helping to pay for more programs or keeping them running longer. Pallone was bullish on Thursday, saying, I think we're very close to a deal. We're going to get a bill that has negotiated prices, and that's going to make a difference in terms of people being able to afford their prescriptions. And Peter said that Pallone has come a long way on the policy, but said their effort does not yet have 50 Senate votes. But if Democrats are able to reinstate a prescription drug plan, lawmakers and aides say it will hew closer to the far more narrow and industry-friendly version put forward by the House and the Senate centrist and endorsed by the White House that the aggressive plan has already passed the House twice. Though the prescription drug industry's goal is to prevent any government price negotiation, yeah, of course it is, limiting the bargaining to a narrow subset of prescriptions and leaning more heavily on measures like out-of-pocket caps that don't impact the company's bottom line would be a victory in itself. So as I said, this in the last few days is when they go to add in a lot of items. We're hoping that they can add in a stimulus check for adults. We have multiple different groups like the Senior Citizens League looking to add a $1,400 stimulus check in there for adults, in addition to the stimulus checks or the monthly checks for children called the child tax credits. Those are looking to be extended for one more year, called the child tax credits. $250 per month for children ages 6 through 17 and $300 per month for children 5 and under. Those are going to be extended most likely for one more year in this package. Maybe in the next package after that, they'll extend it for another year. Maybe in the next package as well, they may increase Social Security benefits. As I said, we just had 2 new bills that were just introduced in the last few days to increase Social Security benefits by significant amounts. I will link you to a video on that in just a moment. We also, again, have several different groups looking to add a stimulus check in there for adults. And this Medicare drug pricing, well, not Medicare drug pricing, but prescription drug pricing to lower the cost of that. It's not just for Medicare, but it's for private insurance and pretty much everybody as well. So prescription drug pricing, and then we also have the Medicare hearing coverage is included and hearing aid, but they're also looking to include vision coverage. I don't know if dental coverage is going to be included. That's kind of the most expensive one. So they're looking to do vision right now. Dental coverage is something that would be the most expensive, but remember that there's going to be another stimulus package after this. So they're kind of like taking what President Biden said, a bite at the apple right now to basically get what they can agree on now. And then this next stimulus package, they're going to take another bite at the apple and get more things in this next stimulus package. So basically, this package is going to be about $1.75 trillion, which is exactly half of the $3.5 trillion. So they're going to pass what they can get now. So think about taking a large bite at the apple, half of $3.5 trillion, pass what they can get now, and just kind of like, all right, this is what we can agree on. Let's pass it now, get it signed, sealed, and delivered, get what's in the books, then pass the physical infrastructure package, get that passed, signed, sealed, delivered, get what's in the books. 2 deals passed, boom, done, sealed, delivered. Then we'll come back around and take the other half of the apple, take another bite of it, and get that half, get that bite, then get what we can, agree on there. Maybe get a large Social Security increase there for that bite at the apple as well, and basically get that done as well. So let's just say, for example, we get hearing but not vision and dental or something like that, and we get prescription drug pricing, but it's not everything that we want in prescription drug pricing, for example. That does not mean we'll just come around later and see what we can get in the next stimulus package. And let's say they're not going to get the free community college in this bill. That might be in the next bill. And they're not going to get the paid family and medical leave in this bill. They might be able to get it in the next bill. They might get the Social Security raised in the next bill. They might get, who knows, the monthly stimulus checks that the children are getting. Might be able to get that for adults in the next bill. Remember, they're going to want to do a lot of massive big things before the next midterm election. Honestly, there could be 2 more stimulus packages before the next midterm elections. The Democrats are going to want to do a lot of massive big things before the next midterm elections to try to regain the House and the Senate. Again, I'm not a Democrat, I'm not a Republican, but just looking at this from a realist, the Democrats like controlling the House, the Senate, and the presidency. Remember, the Republicans controlled the House, the Senate, and the presidency back in 2017, 2018, and then they weren't able to control the Senate and the House. They lost the trifecta after just 2 years. So the Democrats see that the Republicans weren't able to control the trifecta for more than 2 years. So the Democrats are probably thinking, yeah, if we want to, keep that trifecta, we're going to have to do a lot of very big things. So that they see that coming up here, that midterm election is coming up next year. So they're probably thinking, yeah, if we want to do that, well, we just, we're going to do this next big package. We're going to renew those monthly stimulus checks, the child tax credits, for 1 more year. We may have to renew them for another year before the next midterm elections. Maybe we'll even do a monthly check like that for adults before the next midterm election as well, for low to middle income adults, and maybe even a big Social Security raise. They're probably going to want to do a lot of big things like that before the midterm elections because, well, they're going to probably want to get a lot of votes and say, hey, look at all these big things we did. I mean, I'm just kind of saying as a realist here, if they want to keep the House and the Senate, that's probably what they're going to need to do. So you can tell me what you think, but I'll keep you up to date here on this channel. They're going to try to be voting on that this week here. Again, as I said, they're adding things in here at the last moment. That's what they did with the second stimulus check package, the third stimulus check package, and they're doing it now with this next stimulus package. So they're looking to add in prescription drug pricing, which is a very big thing. Maybe this $800 stimulus debit card for medical and dental as well. Maybe a stimulus check for adults. We'll see here. So I'll keep you up to date here on everything. Make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't yet. It's free to do so. Literally just click subscribe. And new videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can click here to watch my newest stimulus check video next. And this video is that video about 2 new bills on Social Security raises, really big ones coming out here in the future. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.